This Shabbos is an extraordinary and unique opportunity to connect and be a being of divine, godly, transcendent light. This Shabbos, we carry the energy of Mashiach. This is Shabbos Chazon, the Shabbos where every single Jew receives a vision of the third Beis Hamikdash and the energy of that. And so let's dive into the Sikha about learning how we can tap in and what is available on this Shabbos and how to show up for this grand occasion. So the specific parshas that we read during the 3 weeks are very connected to strengthening us. And specifically, the Tzemach Tzedek explains that the Shabboses in the 3 weeks, they actually are the refuah l'fnei hamaka. These Shabboses are the healing that come before an illness. So there's two different types of cures. There's a cure that someone, God forbid, is sick, and then they get a cure, and therefore they recover. But then there's a different type, a higher type of remedy, and that is a healing that exists even before the malady, meaning that there's no sign of the illness, as if the illness never even was. And this is the type of healing that we're looking for. This is a redemptive healing. And we learn about this premise from Gemara Bava Kama, 70b. A person who is about to be redeemed is considered as if he was already redeemed, because our status is one of geula, because we know where the story ends and begins at the Beis Hamikdash. We know where we're headed to a place of total divine connection and world peace. We can actually tap into that in the deepest ways. And that's specifically asked of us and available on the Shabbos before Tisha B'Av. So how is it that Shabbos has this unique ability to stand beyond any signs of mourning, to stand beyond the destruction of the temple? On Shabbos, we know that we're not allowed to show even the slightest sign of mourning for the temple or mourning in general whatsoever. There's a story of someone who always wore slippers and unfortunately became a mourner. Rahman al-Islam. It shouldn't be for anyone, such a thing. And he always wore slippers, so we had to ask the Tzemach Tzedek, like, am I allowed to wear slippers on Shabbos? Because now it might look like I'm wearing slippers as an act of mourning, because that's normally what mourners do. They don't wear special or leather shoes. And the Tzemach Tzedek said, no, you cannot wear these slippers because it might look like you're mourning. Meaning it's so important to not mourn on Shabbos that even if it might look like you're mourning, that we're not allowed to. And specifically on these Shabboses, when someone might have a hashash, they might feel like, we should be a little bit sadder because like the Beis Hamikdash got destroyed and we're about to have Tisha B'Av. No, we are headed for the third temple. We're headed for the ultimate marriage with Hashem. And we need to look excited and happy and feel excited and happy and take out your best, Shabbos best, and bring out the extra wine and meat. And not like, Shabbos is coming to a close, let's slow down. No, we have the entire Shabbos to be in a space of the third Beis Hamikdash. And so what is a unique connection between a geula celebration and Shabbos? Is the very first Shabbos that ever happened. There's 3 things that are called Shabbos. The first Shabbos of creation, Matan Torah, the giving of the Torah, which happened on Shabbos, and Mashiach is called Shabbos. Of course, we have every Shabbos to tap into those energies. So what happened is that Adam and Chava ate from the tree. Oops, it happens. They ate from the tree. What are we gonna do? And therefore, all death and evil and other things, entered into the human psyche and reality. But before the effects were able to take their toll, there was Shabbos, because this happened Friday afternoon. And we all know that Friday afternoon, nothing stopping Shabbos, not even the Eitz Hadas, not even the sin of eating from the tree, nothing stopping Shabbos. Shabbos is coming. And so they were already plugged into the air of Shabbos energy. And so Hashem pushed off all the repercussions of the sin of eating from the tree until after Shabbos. And what happened? There was a light to show that there was no lacking of that Shabbos whatsoever, no repercussions of sin. What happened is that the entire Friday night, there was only light. It did not get dark. The sun did not set. And really the idea of every Shabbos contains that. Meaning on Shabbos, we're able to just be divine beings of light. I don't need to go into that trigger on Shabbos. I don't need to get angry about that thing to protect myself on Shabbos. I don't need to go down that whirlpool of negative, obsessive thoughts about myself on Shabbos. I don't need to go there. I can say to myself, this can wait. This is a Motzi Shabbos activity or maybe a never activity. This can wait till Sunday. I am in Shabbos. We have full permission. There's this hot topic in the world. People like to talk about spiritual bypassing. I don't really know what that is. But this is definitely not spiritual bypassing. This is godly, transcendent permission to be who you are. To be who you are. You are a Shabbos being. You are a being of transcendence. You are a geula wife. You are a woman who brings joy and love and light into her home. And for me, this is the deepest permission. Meaning if something comes up on Shabbos and being like, oh, but maybe I should go into it. No, this is a moment of I'm at the base of Mikdash with Hashem. I'm in Gan Eden with Hashem. This is a moment to go deeper into the joy. And maybe if I have to go into it for a moment to find that joy, totally cool. But the point is, the destination is the joy of being one with Hashem. The joy of getting to be Hashem's Shabbos bride. And connecting to this energy of this eternal reality of just stepping into this Chasen Kala Shabbos, welcoming the Shabbos bride energy of receiving and connecting. And so what does this look like practically? It means hang up all the disappointments on the coat rack before Shabbos. Hang up the mental to-do list on the coat rack before Shabbos. Hang up needing to teach my husband anything or for him to be different. Put on the coat rack, just hang it up. It'll wait, it'll all be there. But for this special Shabbos, the Shabbos Chazon, put all those things on the side and give ourselves that permission and receive this permission that we're being granted here to go into full unbridled geula mode, because sometimes it's all we need is to know this is the call of the hour. This is the avoda. And when the Rebbe, the Moshe Rabbeinu of our generation, spells this out, this is what is so special about these Shabboses, and actually this is what brings the geula. Because when there's a healing before the illness, that brings the ultimate healing. This healing of the Shabbos before the illness, before Tisha B'Av, that is what is going to march us into this geula reality where there will be no mourning and there will be no fasting, because we are going to be standing in our holy temple, dancing, laughing, singing, in the most embodied and beautiful way possible. So wishing everyone a Shabbos of joy, transcendent light, geula energy, tapping into your geula self, and can't wait to hear how you made it special for yourself and for your family. Thank you. And good Shabbos!